Hi everyone, welcome to Ethernal Realms and welcome to the month ahead astrology reading. Make sure you check your sun, moon, and rising signs for a comprehensive view of the month. Additionally, I would recommend watching the tarot reading of the month ahead to get a different perspective. While you will know the astrology in advance through this session, I will also send you a reminder when the astrological events are near. All you have to do is subscribe, hit the bell, and you will be notified as the events occur through my community page. I occasionally post behind the scenes, meditation guidance, quizzes, and polls, which you can check out for yourself. And it goes without saying that you will be notified when new videos are out, such as other zodiac readings and pick a card tarot readings as well. If you prefer to cut down the guesswork about your month ahead, you can always connect with me via Etsy to get a personalized week-by-week month ahead tarot reading paired with the general astrology. Enough about me, let's talk about you. So let's talk a little bit about the overview of the month first. We have two full moons this month. One on the 1st of August is a full moon in Aquarius, and on the 31st we have a full moon in Pisces. On the 16th, we have a new moon in Leo, so lots of lunar events occurring this month compared to the previous ones. Other interesting things is that Mercury is going to go retrograde in one of its home signs, Virgo, and the shadow period for that is going to start on the 3rd of August, and the retrograde itself occurs on the 23rd of August. The zodiac sign moves from Leo season to Virgo season, also on the 23rd, and Mars is changing signs from Virgo to Libra on the 27th. Apart from that, we have Uranus in Taurus going retrograde as well. And keep in mind, Venus is still retrograde at this time, and so is Neptune, even Saturn. So we have lots of planets going retrograde. Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, and Uranus, Venus as well. Okay, so lots of retros. Okay, let's get into it and see what this means. So for you, Aries, the first full moon falls in your 11th house of networking, friend groups, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. What are you aiming for, basically? Okay, so there can be some important revelations happening around this time, which help you understand where you want to pursue your next priorities. The same day, we have Mars in Virgo, your 6th house, trining with Jupiter in Taurus, which is your 2nd house. So something related with, your finances and the way that you earn your money and how you support your lifestyle and the things you would like to prioritize within those lifestyles can come up here at this time. And this is a harmonious aspect. So this talks about finding peace in the supplies and resources to make something happen. Now, Mars is a fiery planet and Jupiter is all about expanding things. But because it's a harmonious aspect, we talk about, the favorable things are being magnified here about Mars. So you might be more go-getting. You're likely to see more results from the efforts you put in. The more determination you have, the more rewards you're getting at this time as well. This can also talk about you making certain applications or certain promises, starting a new health venture, starting a new routine, trying out different techniques, and something is working out here. On the 2nd, we have Mercury in Virgo, right opposite Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn is retrograde at this time. And this talks about your 12th house, 6th house once more. So you have some management, organization, task arrangement, lifestyle, routine, ideas, and strategies that you have going on. And that can be brought into question by yourself. Like, is this the right way to go about things? Does this allow me adequate time to rest and recuperate? Because with Saturn going retrograde in that 12th house, you're likely to feel the need for rest and you understand the value of rest and a good sleep cycle. This can also talk about where are you taking on too much control and responsibility and where can you restructure things so that you're able to cope with it well, or you're able to let go of certain responsibilities that you no longer care about or is just not relevant to your life anymore. On the 3rd, like I mentioned earlier, Mercury enters its shadow phase. On the 7th, we have the Sun squaring with Jupiter. The sun is in Leo, your fifth house, and Jupiter is in Taurus, your second house. So this can be unexpected expenditures connected to children or something creative that you are doing, maybe a little bit more on the expensive side, or it requires more effort from you. So expense in terms of literal finances, but your energy, time, and other resources can come up. It can also talk about you planning a date or going on a date, which can be a little bit on the luxurious side. Taurus and Leo, both of them like sensual things and glamorous, not really glamorous, but just grand and show me through the actions and through the gestures that you care about me. Okay, so in another sense, you are likely to take lots of inspired action towards the things that you enjoy, and the things you just have to do for the sake of responsibility might suffer a little bit on this day. So it's important to focus on both, yes, but it's also important to moderate both of these qualities. On the 9th, we have Venus in Leo, who's retrograde, squaring with Uranus in Taurus. Once again, it's the same square of the same houses being activated. But now because Venus is involved, it talks about a breakthrough situation or a clarity coming in of where is it that you stop yourself from feeling fulfilled and satisfied with your love life or your creative life, the way that you connect with children. Where is it that there is a sense of dissatisfaction that can come to light and can create a breakthrough, especially because Uranus is involved here? Okay, and this can be that maybe if we spend more time over here and less time doing this, we can find a better balance in connecting with one another. That can be one of those things. Or you might decide to join a class with your children so that you have more time to bond, for example. The same day, we have Pluto squaring with the North Node, and Pluto is retrograde at this time, which talks about fateful interventions coming in, and these are transformations that might not be very perceivable on this day. North Node does bring in some like latent qualities, and with the square aspect, it comes up to light, so you are likely to understand more about yourself through some self-introspection, or just you're looking through what you've accomplished so far, probably because Pluto is in Capricorn, your 10th house, what you've accomplished, what your status is in the world, where is it that your ambitions are taking you, and where do you want to expand yourself and grow yourself. You're looking for that growth and self-development opportunities because now the North Node is in your sign. On the 10th, we have a favorable aspect between Mercury in Virgo, and that's trining with Jupiter in Taurus. So some, clients, regular work, and other forms of services that you engage in that is bringing you some income. And this also helps you kind of feel revitalized at the end of the day. You don't get exhausted even if you're doing your routines or whatever. This also indicates you might find some nice guidance, financial guidance or strategies that can help you save better or make you feel more secure in your day-to-day life, so that you're channeling your energy and resources in a favorable manner. All in all, it feels like everything that you're doing feels more worth it. It's steady and stable, and it's not way too hectic. On the 13th, we have the Sun joining with Venus, who's retrograde in the sign of Leo. That's your 5th house. So once again, there is clarity of what you are not looking for in a relationship and what you are looking for in one. Now, this can talk about reconnecting with exes, but it might not be literal in that way, especially if you're someone who's like exes, they're exes for a reason. This can still talk about you are reminiscing, or you are thinking back to something, some event, something just reminds you of a situation you encountered, but you're able to see that in a fresh perspective at this time. So something in the past that happened which you did not fully understand in that time can become more clear now, so that you are able to relate much better with your current partner or your future partners, whichever applies to your case. The Sun signifies clarity, and Venus being retro over there, this is a point of rejuvenation for Venus here. Okay, then on the 16th, we have a new moon in Leo, and this talks about new beginnings with regards to your childhood or inner child, your sense of creativity and romance, like I was mentioning earlier. And let me just see the chart for just a second so I know what aspects are going on. Almost. Okay, so this new moon is going to be squaring with Uranus. Okay, so this can talk about some creative breakthroughs and brainstorming sessions or ideas that come to light that can be financially lucrative or help you understand your, give you more perspective on your self-worth and concept. Okay, so what are your priorities? What does bring you joy? What makes you feel fulfilled? Where can you engage yourself in? Now, keep in mind that this is a new moon, so it has that very enthusiastic energy that helps us propel ourselves forward in a direction. But at the same time, new things generally have a naive touch to it. I'm not saying that every idea you get is going to be naive, but there is a tilt towards that direction where we think that, oh, well, now everything is sorted. Now that I know this, I can figure everything out. We don't take into account the minor speed bumps that can come across, and if we don't take that into account, there can be a feeling of discouragement down the line. But as long as you're aware of this, it's fine. Just apart from the square though, which is exact, the sun moon are meeting with Venus, who is retrograde at this time. They're also trining with the north node, so that's wonderful. Also trining with Chiron, also quite healing. So there is a sense of purging and self-understanding, so you can express yourself much better moving forward. There can be a rise of self-confidence as well. Perhaps you engage in some new hobbies and you didn't expect that you would enjoy this, but this is somehow helping you develop your individuality. The same day, we have Mars in Virgo trining with the Uranus in Taurus, and this is as well another of that earth sign combination, which is catering to your second house of self-worth and finance, as well as your sixth house of routines and lifestyle. So you are taking some actions and you're moving forward in that routine and lifestyle space, and you are again experiencing some sort of benefit here. This can be your work paying off, or you have some unique opportunities coming towards you, and you're really excited to take advantage of that and incorporate that into your life. And I'm also getting a sense of you're grateful that you have put in the work already, because Mars has been in Virgo for quite some time, Uranus has been in Taurus for quite some time. So I'm sensing a bit of a gratitude coming here. Like, goodness, I set this routine up for myself, or I streamlined this process, and because I did that, now I'm able to take advantage of this new opportunity. On the 21st, we have the Sun trine North Node. So it was not exact at the time of the new moon. We did see this aspect coming up on the horizon, but it was not yet there. On the 21st, it is peaking, it's exact, and we have this as a beneficial aspect to you. This talks about personal growth and expansion. If you have some inner child healing to do, this is a very nice time that you can get some clarity, heart healing. And if you have not had the time to pamper yourself, love yourself, this is the time that you might be prioritizing yourself more. What do you enjoy? What are you fulfilling? But in the form of am I growing with this experience? Because Aries, after all, is a cardinal sign. It likes to take action, it likes to see progress, and it's the pursuit of things that is very enjoyable. And North Node is quite conducive to such energies. So it looks like you're looking for new ways to showcase yourself in the world and to express yourself personally. On the 22nd, we have Venus in Leo squaring with Jupiter in Taurus. And this is again activating your fifth house and second house. And this can talk about you want to, express yourself in a certain way, but there are certain other details or resources that need to be figured out. So there is a sense of delayed gratification, especially because Venus is retro. Make sure that you're not, doing unnecessary spending or purchasing on something that's very permanent or major around this time, because there is a strong tendency of overestimating what someone costs, or something costs, sorry. And also there can be an underestimation of what someone should be priced as. So, you're undervaluing or overvaluing certain subjects and resource, and all of that can occur. There's a blurry sense of idealism that is up in the air in this regard, so we are not able to see as clearly, or we're not able to understand the actual worth of certain things. So that's why I think the square comes in here, which can be very quickly turning into overindulgence or overspending, and just I like it, so I'm just gonna get it, that type of quality. The same day we have Mars in Virgo right opposite Neptune in Pisces, and Neptune is retrograde, and this can talk about secrets coming to light in a way, or self-sabotaging tendencies or addictions and escaping habits can come to light because of the opposition, and it's a time to rebalance and find moderation in what you do in your everyday life, in your waking hours, and what you do in your private time. So more space for meditation can be helpful, but if you're not someone who meditates, this can be about exercising, but in a mindful or a meditative way that can bring you, into a grounded sense of reality, but also release stress from you. It can be a very nice outlet for this day. On the 23rd, we have the zodiac season shifting. As I mentioned earlier, the sun moves from Leo to Virgo. We have Virgo season, and this is activating the focus onto your 6th house. And this talks about, okay, let's focus on cleaning up my health, the diet that I have going on. Maybe you want to do some cleansing or decluttering of this space. This can also be trying to figure out more efficient ways of working, more productive ways of going about your day. Also, you're looking at what improves lifestyle and routines for everybody involved. Now, the sun in this house and in Virgo is about how you come to service. You're likely to have increased focus on work. You are getting more work, you have more responsibility, and therefore you're being motivated to find different ways to manage your time and routines. Because the same day we have Mercury going retrograde, and this is where, if you schedule too much into your day, it can be difficult for you to go about things, because it's a slow and methodical type of cycle, this one. Okay, especially because sun is here as well. So you are going to slowly, deliberately figure out ways to improve things. And the answer is not going to be clear from the get-go. It's a slow learning process. Okay, so if you pack yourself too tightly, it's just going to exhaust you more, and you will feel the need to, escape routine or humdrum and want to, go right in the opposite direction automatically, because that's just simply how we operate, and that's how Mercury retrograde can show up as well. Now, because Mercury is quite strong in this place, make sure you're backing up your data, and that you're double checking your emails before you send it out to someone. There can be like mistakenly sending something to the wrong person. That can absolutely happen, especially connected with work. So make sure you're checking your documents and other obligations and promises that you've made in the past, because those things are likely to come back up over here. It's a nice time to re-evaluate certain strategies you have put in place, especially from the end of July till this point, to see if something is working, and if it's not, it's an ideal time to make the changes. It is not a very good time to make some public declarations or new promises or new brand deals or any sort of, contractual agreements at this time, including publishing books or something that you have not done previously. If you are continuing on something you've started already, then that is probably fine, but maybe publishing is not a great idea. So yes, that's a disclaimer for you. Now you do as you please. Of course, life goes on, and do as much as you can, basically. On the 25th, we have a favorable aspect going on between Mars in Virgo and Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto is retrograde. So this is bringing into focus your everyday work life and your occupation or your profession. There can be some transformations or some changes in relationships with your authority figures, or the power that you have, the designation that you have in your workspace, or the status that you're carrying at this time. And the changes you're making in your everyday life and routine, that is going to show more prominently in the form of, what do you do? What's your role and responsibility now? Or, if you're incorporating lifestyle changes, then you're likely seeing transformation that's visible from the outside in. It's not just a bodily feeling that, because you're running regularly, you feel lighter or more flexible or freer. Instead, other people can see, hey, you're looking very fit and you look quite fresh, and whatever the case is. Okay, they're able to notice this even though Pluto is retrograde, because it's in a prominent space. Apart from that, this talks about you're looking at your goals and ambitions and you're kind of thinking about it. You're noticing what you're doing every single day, and then you're trying to gauge, you kind of just putting these two things in parallel, that what I'm working for or the way that I work, do my ambitions still stay the same? Do I feel powerful in the position that I'm in at this time? Is there something else that needs to be transformed or is missing at this time that I need to take into account? It's a very methodical one. Once again, slow and steady, but it's more about the material aspects of things. What's your financial status? Are you able to support a family? Are you able to eat healthy? And it's like the basic needs of life, but at the same time, where are you taking those basic needs in the future? Are you craving for luxury? Are you craving for a more down-to-earth type of lifestyle? What exactly is the vision for yourself? On the 27th, we have an opposition between the sun in Virgo and Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn is retrograde at this time. And this talks about, again, rebalancing, finding how much obligation you have towards your workspace and how much authority and focus you're putting in there, and are you taking enough care about yourself? Because that's as well a responsibility you have. If you don't take care of you, you're less likely to take care of other people. So this is about striking that moderation and balance, making sure you have enough time in the day for yourself as well as for other things. The same day, we have Mars going into Libra from Virgo. So your activities, your busyness is going to move from your sixth house of everyday routines and lifestyle, your workspace as well, to your relationships. Okay, so this can be talking about maybe you're doing something together, you're joining an activity together. This can also talk about heightened passion, and if you're looking for a partnership, this is where you're likely to put in more effort to understand someone, to meet someone new, to go spaces where you might find a like-minded person. Also, this talks about you're making more effort in connecting and communicating with other people, so public relations, client relationships, and all other types of relationships really come over here. It's likely that you're going to connect with old friends one-to-one, or it can be that exes are coming in if you're leaving the window open, because Mercury is retrograde at this time. But this busyness and this activity kind of brings you more flourishing, because other people are able to see you through your interactions. So if you have some sort of message to pass along to people, or some important conversations to have, I guess you can have them now. Keep in mind that other people might see some things as either passionate or confrontational, because Mars and your nature is sort of like that. And if you're like awkward with someone new, or it's just not really, you didn't end on the best terms, it is beneficial to be careful about the words that are being chosen, especially because Mercury is retro. Okay, on the 29th, we have Uranus in Taurus going retrograde. And this talks about no more new shocks and surprises, but rather we have to absorb the changes that have happened in the past 6-7 months. And this is falling in your second house. So there won't be any new changes in terms of your finances or priorities at this time. Instead, we're going to use the revelations we've had so far and kind of let it sink in. This is a more time of stability, not too much change. So if you're someone who looks for, electricity and spark and constant upgrades and changes in any sector, basically the financial sphere or the self-worth is not that quality here. But what can change is internally. Okay, internally, if you seek for epiphanies, you are likely to drive yourself to that point. Okay, when something goes retrograde, it's about the inside out energy rather than the outside in. On the 31st, finally, we have another full moon, and this is in Pisces. Yes, I'm just pulling up the chart once more. Okay, and let's go to the aspects. Okay, so this full moon is conjoining with Saturn. A little bit of an isolating one, but it's highly spiritual. And because Saturn is retrograde, we're likely to find some breakthroughs, and some structures are going to change in the way that, you rest. Probably, maybe you're shifting your bedroom around to allow for more, soothing energy to flow in. Perhaps you're adding in some water sounds or some water feature in your bedroom or something of that sort, or you're doing some sort of cleansing or purging, something like that, through meditation or otherwise. This can also be you wanting to take a holiday. Probably not yet, but this is the time where you're likely to acknowledge to yourself that it's exhausting and you would like to take a break. Okay, so that's what I have for you. Thank you for being here. I really hope you enjoyed and that the messages help you out throughout the month. Stay tuned for the tarot reading as well. I will be uploading them soon. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified whenever that's up. And if you enjoyed the reading, please do like and comment your thoughts if you have any. It will be really lovely to hear back from you, and it really helps the channel grow as well. I will see you some other time. Until then, take care. Bye.